Emily's alarm clock goes off at 6:30 a.m. Emily's alarm clock goes off at 6:30 a.m. Emily wakes up and stretches her arms. Emily wakes up and stretches her arms. She turns off the alarm. She turns off the alarm. She gets out of bed. She gets out of bed. She makes her bed. She makes her bed. She walks to the bathroom. She walks to the bathroom. Emily uses the toilet. Emily uses the toilet. She flushes the toilet. She flushes the toilet. She washes her hands carefully. She washes her hands carefully. She brushes her teeth. She brushes her teeth. She washes her face with a facial cleanser. She washes her face with a facial cleanser. She takes a warm shower. She takes a warm shower. She shampoos her hair. She shampoos her hair. She conditions her hair. She conditions her hair. She washes her body. She washes her body. She rinses her body with water. She rinses her body with water. She dries herself with a soft towel. She dries herself with a soft towel. She blow dries her hair. She blow dries her hair. Emily applies toner to her face. Emily applies toner to her face. She applies serum to her skin. She applies serum to her skin. She applies moisturizer to her face. She applies moisturizer to her face. She applies sunscreen to protect her skin. She applies sunscreen to protect her skin. She brushes her hair. She brushes her hair. She ties her hair into a ponytail. She ties her hair into a ponytail. She puts on some foundation. She puts on some foundation. She puts on some blush. She puts on some blush. She applies mascara to her eyelashes. She applies mascara to her eyelashes. She puts on some lipstick. She puts on some lipstick. She sprays some perfume. She sprays some perfume. Emily goes to the kitchen to make breakfast. Emily goes to the kitchen to make breakfast. She prepares toast, scrambled eggs, and fresh fruit. She prepares toast, scrambled eggs, and fresh fruit. She has a cup of coffee or tea. She has a cup of coffee or tea. She enjoys her breakfast at the table. She enjoys her breakfast at the table. Emily checks her phone for messages. Emily checks her phone for messages. She reads the latest news. She reads the latest news. She checks today's weather forecast. She checks today's weather forecast. She washes the dishes. She washes the dishes. She wipes the kitchen counter. She wipes the kitchen counter. She puts everything back in its proper place. She puts everything back in its proper place. She wears a nice blouse and a skirt or trousers. She wears a nice blouse and a skirt or trousers. Before leaving, she checks her handbag, phone, and wallet. Before leaving, she checks her handbag, phone, and wallet. She takes her keys and water bottle. She takes her keys and water bottle. She takes a jacket or an umbrella if the weather is cold or rainy. She takes a jacket or an umbrella if the weather is cold or rainy. Finally, she locks the door. Finally, she locks the door. She leaves home and starts her busy day. She leaves home and starts her busy day.
Hello, everyone. Today, I would like to share with you a short story about Emily's morning routine. Emily usually gets up early in the morning. First, Her alarm clock goes off at 6:30 a.m., and she wakes up feeling a little sleepy. She stretches her arms for a few seconds, turns off the alarm, and gets out of bed. Before walking to the bathroom, she makes her bed. Once in the bathroom, Emily uses the toilet and flushes it. Then she washes her hands carefully. After that, she brushes her teeth and washes her face with a gentle facial cleanser. Next, she takes a warm shower. She shampoos and conditions her hair and washes her body. Afterward, she rinses everything with water. Once she gets out of the shower, she dries herself with a soft towel and blow-dries her hair. After taking a shower, Emily begins her morning skincare routine. She applies toner, serum, and moisturizer to her face. She also applies sunscreen to protect her skin. Then she brushes her hair and ties it into a neat ponytail. Once her hair is done, Emily puts on a little makeup. She applies some foundation and blush. She also puts on mascara and lipstick. Finally, she sprays on a little perfume to feel fresh and confident. When she finishes getting ready, Emily goes to the kitchen to make breakfast. She usually prepares some toast, scrambled eggs, and fresh fruit. She also has a cup of coffee or tea and enjoys her breakfast at the table. While having breakfast, Emily checks her phone for messages. She also reads the latest news and checks today's weather forecast. After breakfast, Emily washes the dishes, wipes the kitchen counter, and puts everything back in its proper place. Then she gets dressed for the day. If she is going to work, she usually wears a nice blouse, a skirt, or a pair of trousers and comfortable shoes. She also puts on a watch and a pair of earrings. Before leaving the apartment, Emily makes sure she has everything she needs, including her handbag, phone, wallet, keys, and water bottle. If the weather is cold or rainy, she also brings along a jacket or an umbrella. Finally, Emily locks the door, walks to the bus stop, and gets ready to start another busy but exciting day. That's Emily's morning routine. Thank you for listening.